This week, I'm going to talk to you about something that is very extraordinary, is really going to transform your life. My name's Dr. Sukhi, and for the past 20 years, I've really been touching people's lives and been immersed in not just understanding Western sciences, but also often Eastern philosophy as well, and really immersing myself into understand quantum physics and really to get a grasp of the world around us. Now, personally, I've been able to touch the lives of tens and tens of thousands of people, and not just from myself and my ability to do that, but actually harnessing the power of the universe. You see, similar to oxygen, we're surrounded by some particles and some energetic forces that most of us can't see with our ordinary lenses and eyes. When you start to delve into the science of it, we're actually surrounded by a universal field, and we can often tap into that field as much or as little as we like. And the more that we set the right intentions, we can actually access the power of this infinite universal energy and combine that with our finite innate energy to create extraordinary results. And that's one of the secrets that I've used as a healing doctor to literally transform so many people's lives. And you can do that as well. It's something I teach people, but it's really just a 1-degree shift in your perception. Let me give you an example. If you're experiencing hardships, it might be an ache or a pain, it might be an illness or a disease. You might have a friend, a family, a coworker that's not in their, say, ideal state of health, well-being, and abundance. So they're not as healthy, happy, or as wealthy as they can be. Most of the time, our finite minds will focus on the problem and will focus on what's wrong. If somebody has a sore back, or if somebody is depressed, or if somebody is facing bankruptcy, we're very much focused on the ache or the pain or the bankruptcy. Now, the challenge is that the universe has a certain field of energy for that type of problem or issue. So what we often do is, well, let's focus on getting out of bankruptcy. Let's focus on getting out of pain. Let's focus on getting out of illness and disease. And that sounds like a noble act to follow. The challenge is that pain, aches, illness, disease, bankruptcy is a certain frequency and is a certain language the universe responds to. So whether you're saying in pain or out of pain, in illness or out of illness, in bankruptcy or out of bankruptcy, the universe responds the same way and sees it as illness, disease, bankruptcy. It doesn't change. So what would happen if you thought about the situation in a completely different light? I'll give you an example. If a woman came to see me and she talked about how she had this illness or disease, my first question would be, ma'am, if you didn't have that illness or disease, what would you do in your life? And she actually thought there and said to me, I'm not actually sure. You see, most people don't actually know what it is they actually want. And if you don't know what you want, the universe can't give it to you. So I sat there in silence and asked her to think deeply. And she said, well, I would play with my kids. And I would play with my kids uninterrupted. I would chase them under the dining room table. I would run around with them at the park. And I was like, wonderful. So in our partnership and working together, our goal and intention is to have you play with your children, run around at the park, and do extraordinary things. Same thing can be said for a person who isn't tapped into abundance, say working with business people and they can't create the finances they want to create. What would happen if you had the abundance? What lifestyle would you have? How would you work with your employees and colleagues and coworkers? How would you treat the person at the coffee shop? You see, when you start focusing on your life by design rather than your life by default, the universe sees a different frequency. The universe sees a person without the disease. The universe sees a person without the illness. The universe sees a person in a state of abundance and flow. And as a result, the universe conspires to actually allow that to happen. You see, with my ability to help so many people, a lot of people think I've been doing it, and I've simply been a conduit, an enzyme, acting as an intermediary between them and the universe, and you can do that too by simply focusing and getting them to focus and you to focus on the things you want to actually create. The person without the illness, the person with great movement, energy, abundance, happiness, radiant vitality, and tuning in and living that life, that's how you harness the power of the universe. And it's completely connected to your emotional state. There's a totally different emotional state when you're focused on what's wrong versus being focused on what's right. And when you focus on what's right and what you want to create, that's where the transformations live. And that's how you harness the power of the universe. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions and comments, please post them below. I love to answer any questions. You can also check me out on my weekly vlog, which is drsukhi.com. Thanks for tuning in. Have a beautiful day, my friend, and we'll see you soon.